So we're going to find the vertex of this parabola. So if a quadratic formula or function is in standard form, one easy way to find the vertex is to go x equals negative b over 2a, and then evaluate the function y equals, and I'm going to put f of negative b over 2a. That just means we plug the number in here. So in doing that, negative b over 2a, so the opposite of negative 4 is 4 over 2 times 2 is 4. So that means x equals 1. And then what we would do to find the y value is just plug in 1. So y would equal 2 times, and instead of x, I put 1 squared, minus 4 times 1, and then plus 2. So that would give us 2 minus 4 plus 2, which is 2 minus 4 is negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So our vertex would be 1 for x and 0 for y. And you write it as a point. I'm going to box it in right there. Now, this is vertex form. So vertex form, you would have y equals a times x minus h plus k. So in this case, we're not minusing a number, but your h would equal, if I were to change this to a negative, you could make it minus negative 1. So h equals negative 1 and k equals 2. So my vertex is negative 1 for x and 2 for y. Another way to do this is to make this into standard form by distributing and then doing this process over there. So I'm going to model that briefly. What you can do is go negative 3 times x plus 1 times x plus 1, and then plus 2. And then here, I'm going to go x times x. I'm going to leave the negative 3 in front. X times x is x squared. And then x times 1 plus 1x, but plus another 1x would be plus 2x. And then plus 1 times 1 would be, or 1 times 1 would be plus 1. And then plus another 2. So then I distribute the 3. So we have negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 2 is minus 6x. Negative 3 times 1 would be minus 3. And then plus 2. So this then would be negative 3x squared minus 6x, and then minus 1. And then from there, you can do negative b over 2a. So the opposite of negative 6 is 6 over 2 times negative 3, which would be negative 6. So that gives us 1. And then plugging 1 into the equation, so y would equal negative 3 times 1 plus 1 squared plus 2. And you can, if you like, plug that into a calculator. So negative 3 times 1 plus 1 is just going to be 2 squared, and then plus 2 gives us negative 10. Whoops, and I made a small math error here. Instead of plugging in 1, 6 divided by negative 6 is negative 1. So this should be a negative 1. So going back in there, that would be negative 3 times 0 squared plus 2, which just gives us y equals 2, which again, we have negative 1 for x, 2 for y, which is our point here, negative 1, 2. So sorry for that small math error, but that happens to everyone. So now here, if we have in factored form, one way to find the coordinates of the vertex is to move this to standard form. So x times x is x squared. X times 6 would be plus 6x. 2 times x would be plus 2x. And then 2 times 6 would be plus 12. So here we have x squared plus 8x plus 12. And then again, the x coordinate is going to be negative b, so negative 8 over 2 times 1, or just 2. Negative 8 over 2 is negative 4. So our x coordinate here is going to be negative 4. And then substituting this into the function, y would equal negative 4 plus 2 times negative 4 plus 6. So then that's going to give us negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4. And you could also plug that in here and go negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 12. And that also equals 16. And then 8 times negative 4 is minus 32 plus 12. And then 16 minus 32 plus 12 gives us negative 4 as well. So we have practiced those methods. And what I want you to do is try 11, 12, and 13. And then check the answer key that will be posted to see that you can do that correctly.